Gonna help me up or what?
An American Werewolf in London, the 1981 film that changed horror forever and created an entirely new Oscar category just to recognize its genius. Today, we're howling through facts that you didn't know about this horror comedy masterpiece. Fact 1. Landis wrote the script when he was 18 years old. In 1969, John Landis was just 18 years old working as a production assistant on Kelly's Heroes in Yugoslavia. He witnessed a Roma funeral where the corpse was buried feet first, wrapped in garlic, at a crossroads so it wouldn't rise from the grave. That bizarre ritual sparked an idea. What if a Western person was visited by a dead friend? Landis wrote the first draft of An American Werewolf in London that same year. Fact 2. It took 12 years to get the film made. For over a decade, every single studio gave Landis the exact same response. This is too funny to be a horror film and too frightening to be a comedy. The script got Landis writing jobs throughout the 1970s, but nobody would actually make the movie until he had massive hits with Animal House and the Blues Brothers. Fact 3. Studios wanted Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Universal Studios executives pressured Landis to cast Dan Aykroyd as David and John Belushi as Jack. Can you imagine? Landis refused and insisted on casting unknown actors instead. He wanted fresh faces that audiences wouldn't associate with comedy, allowing the horror to feel more real. Fact 4. James Bond producer rejected the script. Landis tried to get legendary James Bond producer Albert R. Broccoli involved after doing uncredited rewrites on The Spy Who Loved Me. When Broccoli read the script, he bluntly told Landis, "Hell no, it's weird." He completely rejected it. Fact 5. David Naughton was cast because of Dr. Pepper ads. David Naughton was famous for starring in Dr. Pepper's Be a Pepper commercial campaign. John Landis discovered him through those ads because he was an avid Dr. Pepper drinker. After casting Naughton, Landis told him, "We're both Peppers," but Dr. Pepper later fired Naughton because of his nude scenes in the film. Fact 6. Rick Baker almost abandoned the project. Rick Baker promised Landis he'd work on the film whenever John had the money. After waiting 8 years, Baker got tired and agreed to do The Howling instead. When Landis finally called and said, "I have the money," Baker was already working on another werewolf movie. Landis started screaming and swearing at him over the phone. Baker calmed him down and agreed to do both films, leaving The Howling's werewolves to his protege, Rob Bottin. Fact 7. It won the first ever Best Makeup Oscar. An American Werewolf in London won the first Academy Award for Best Makeup when the category was created in 1981. Before this, only 2 honorary makeup awards had been given. Rick Baker's groundbreaking work was so impressive that the Academy created an entire new category just to recognize it. Fact 8. The transformation took 10 hours to apply. The iconic transformation scene took Rick Baker 10 months of planning and a full week of filming. David Naughton had to sit in the makeup chair for 10 hours per day. Naughton described it as a long flight that never goes anywhere. He had to writhe around naked for hours while the crew made jokes at his expense. Fact 9. Landis had no idea how they'd film it. In the screenplay, Landis specified that the transformation had to happen in bright light and be extremely painful. He later admitted, "I had no idea how we were going to do it. It was the worst possible thing for an effects artist." When he finally saw the finished transformation, Landis thought he showed the werewolf. Way too much because he was so impressed with what Baker accomplished. Fact 10. Griffin Dunn's dead makeup traumatized him. Griffin Dunn's makeup as the decomposing Jack looked so realistic that it genuinely horrified the actor. He feared he looked so hideous that nobody would want to look at him. Seeing himself as a mauled corpse became a grim reminder of his own mortality and reportedly affected his emotional state throughout filming. Fact 11. Dunn's mother was too ill to watch. Griffin Dunn said one of his biggest fears about the movie was that his mother, who was seriously ill at the time, wouldn't be able to handle seeing him as a mutilated corpse. He was genuinely worried the makeup would be too disturbing for her to watch. Fact 12. The werewolf was based on Baker's dog. The final look of the werewolf was directly based on Rick Baker's own dog, Bosco. Baker studied his pet's movements and facial features to create the creature design. Baker wanted a bipedal, two-legged werewolf, but Landis refused, insisting it has to be a four-legged hound from hell. Fact 13. Cat Stevens refused to license his song. Landis wanted to use Cat Stevens' Moon Shadow for the opening credits as part of his Moon Song theme. Stevens flat out refused. Why? Because he believes werewolves actually exist. Landis was stunned. Bob Dylan also refused to license his cover of Blue Moon due to religious beliefs. Fact 14. All the songs have moon in the title. To emphasize the werewolf theme, Landis only used songs with the word moon in the title. The soundtrack includes 3 versions of Blue Moon, Bad Moon Rising, and Moon Dance. It's a clever running joke throughout the entire film. Fact 15. It wasn't filmed in Yorkshire at all. The film is set in the Yorkshire Moors, but they never filmed anywhere near Yorkshire. The Moors were actually the Black Mountains in Wales. 2 very different places. The village of East Proctor is really the Welsh village of Crickadarn. They used a fake tree to cover Welsh road signs. Fact 16. The pub was actually a cottage. The Slaughtered Lamb pub wasn't a real pub at all. It was a local cottage that the production transformed into a bar. The interior scenes were filmed at a completely different location called the Black Swan in Surrey. Crickadarn didn't have an actual pub, so they had to create one. Fact 17. Piccadilly Circus hadn't been filmed in 15 years. No film had been allowed to shoot in Piccadilly Circus for 15 years before An American Werewolf in London. Landis got permission by inviting 300 London police officers to a screening of The Blues Brothers. They loved it so much they granted him permission to film there and even stop traffic. Fact 18. They could only film for 2 minutes at a time. They were only allowed to film in Piccadilly Circus between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. on 2 February nights, and they could only stop traffic 3 times for a maximum of 2 minutes each. A replica of the entire area was built on a soundstage so the crew could rehearse and nail every shot quickly. Fact 19. Landis has a cameo as a pedestrian. During the Piccadilly Circus rampage, John Landis makes a quick cameo. He's the pedestrian who gets hit by a car and flies through a plate glass window. It was a legitimate stunt, and Landis performed it himself. Fact 20. The porno was shot by Landis. The fake porn film See You Next Wednesday that David and Jack watch was actually written and directed by John Landis himself. Originally, Landis wanted them to watch a cartoon, but when he arrived in London, he discovered the theaters had stopped showing cartoons and were showing adult films instead, so he changed the script. Fact 21. See You Next Wednesday appears in multiple Landis films. See You Next Wednesday is a recurring Easter egg throughout Landis's filmography. It first appeared in his debut film, Schlock, and has been referenced or shown in almost every film he's made since. It's become his signature inside joke. Fact 22. The film was shot in sequence. Unlike most movies, An American Werewolf in London was filmed completely in chronological order. The opening scenes were filmed first, and the closing sequences filmed last. This helped the actors' performances feel more natural and emotionally authentic. Fact 23. It inspired Michael Jackson's Thriller. Michael Jackson called John Landis because he was a huge fan of An American Werewolf in London, especially Rick Baker's makeup work. Jackson's only request was, "I want to turn into a monster." Landis, Baker, and much of the same crew reunited to create the iconic Thriller music video. Fact 24, Reich Mayall has a cameo. Rick Mayall, star of the hit UK series The Young Ones and Drop Dead Fred, has a brief cameo as a farm laborer playing chess in The Slaughtered Lamb. This was before Mayall became famous, making it a cool piece of trivia for fans. Fact 25, it grossed $62 million worldwide. On a budget of just under $6 million, An American Werewolf in London grossed $30 million domestically and $62 million worldwide. It became a massive commercial success and has since achieved cult classic status, influencing horror comedy filmmakers like Sam Raimi, Tim Burton, and Edgar Wright. And there you have it. If you loved this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more movie facts. Drop a comment. What's your favorite horror movie?